All right, welcome back, whānau, to session 3 of the morning. We have a really beautiful kaupapa, actually one also very dear to my heart, given the work that I do in this space. Our session now that we're going to explore is called We See You. So how are we bringing diversity into the tech industry? We're actually going to have a chance to talk to the team at ANZ who have been on a journey to bring more Māori and Pacific people into their team and into the space of tech. And I'm really actually honoured to be here with what I call the Awesome Foursome crew, who are going to be able to share their journey around, just getting into the tech industry and I guess what makes it fun, explore some of the opportunities, some of the challenges that they've faced getting into the space, and we'll let it flow from there. So welcome everyone, nice to meet you all. Let's just start off by doing some intros. Maybe if you can help the audience understand, who you are, I guess what your role is at ANZ, and maybe just a bit about your background or whakapapa. Cool.
Kia ora, everyone. My name is Summer. I am an Identity and Access Management Analyst in the cybersecurity space here at ANZ. I'm from the Ponecare office, and my iwi is Te Āti Honui Paparangi. And just really happy to be here. Pass it on to Winona.
Kia ora, I am Winona Ngaru-Malifa. I am a digital product designer in the CXCOE in ANZ, and I am Niuean and Cook Island. And I'll pass it to Ryan.
Kia ora. Tēnā koutou katoa, ko te aroa, te tangata, ko Ngāti Pikiao, te iwi, ko Rari Ahau. I am a design researcher at ANZ. Nice to meet everyone.
Kia ora nā tarofa. My name's Shalom Yaro. I am a experienced designer, also in the CXCOE at ANZ, and I am Cook Island, Niuean and Samoan. Nice to be here as well.
Yeah, awesome to have you here, guys. So, really excited, I guess, working in the space myself and having you all here in the flesh. I know we've had some kōrero before today, so really, really keen to get you guys sharing your journey and, what it's been like for you. So I'm going to open the floor and ask our first question. Who would like to kind of tell us about your journey into tech and with ANZ to date?
Maybe I'll start. So a bit about my journey. So it was at the end of university. I had about a month left to go, and a lot of my peers were applying for grad roles or about to start grad roles, and I, on the other hand, was avoiding applying for job applications out of fear of being unable to do interviews, thinking that my grades would be overlooked or that I didn't have the relevant skills needed for the roles I was looking at. Then I saw a networking event pop up and I thought, what the heck, I'll just turn up and see what happens. So I turned up, I started talking to all these corporate people, and I quickly realised that they were very approachable and very supportive. So the support that I received from people at this event encouraged me to finally start applying for roles, and that led to me getting my first cybersecurity consulting job, which was really exciting because I knew that this was an up and coming and very relevant space to all organisations, but I also found it quite daunting given I studied something quite general at university, so I knew that I had a lot to learn. Fast forward to today, I'm now in cybersecurity at ANZ, and I feel now a lot more confident and comfortable within the space, and I think this is largely due to my team and my manager really spending a lot of time to teach me and pass on their skills and knowledge, which I'm really grateful for. But if I was to sort of give 2 takeaways from my journey, I'd say that if you don't consider yourself to be a techie, and if you think, I've done something quite general and quite generalist, that's no worries. You can learn the skills relevant to be in tech. And I'd also say that if you get opportunities to, meet new people in areas that you're interested in and go to networking events, definitely just put yourself out there because you don't know what opportunities that could lead to.
Yeah, awesome. And also the free kai at Buhi.
Oh, honestly, you've
At the
remembered
very
that.
least, you get a nice feed. So
I was thinking about
hey.
this yesterday. I was like, yes, the food was very good.
That was always my strategy, is just like hang by the food. Anyway, anyone else want to share their journey, a bit about it?
Yeah, I guess mine was a bit more unconventional. I was part of the Manaia Kalani, like the program where it set up, and then it became the program that it is now, which teaches primary school students about technology and how to use it as a tool. And then I went on to study communications, and I failed 3 or 4 times. So eventually I came back after travelling and decided to do a master's in technology around future technologies and big data, and became a data analyst. And then a few years ago I went back to uni and did the master's in digital product design and UX, and now I'm transitioned into UX. But I think the coolest thing is that technology allows you the room to try things and to move within it because it's developing so quickly. You can easily do one thing and progress into another role. So yeah, failure is pretty good.
I admire the resilience. This is great. And definitely, I mean, fail fast, right, in tech. It's like, give it a go. Doesn't work out, try something else. So, you know, and I've watched you grow over the years, Winona, and I've watched your career blossom. So it's really cool to see how you've kind of found the space in the tech industry that you're enjoying until the next bit. Yeah, cool. Anyone else? Or?
Awesome. Yeah, I can go. So I guess when I was thinking about my journey, I was thinking kind of right back to like taking the step to go to uni and doing something different. So for me, like I took a lot of firsts in my whānau. First to finish high school, first to go to uni, first to try and enter the corporate world, first to, you know, then start a tech career. And I think there was a lot of, like Summer kind of mentioned, a lot of kind of fear and like, oh, am I not going to fit in? Am I not going to be able to do this? Like, I don't see anybody else around me that's like me in the corporate world. Like, I'm just not seeing that representation. And I did it. It was a lot of that, feel the fear and just do it anyway. And coming into tech is where I found my people, where I found those people that built me up, that gave me the confidence to transition into a tech career when I did economics. So yeah, definitely having people in tech that get you and see you is one of the really beautiful things, I think, especially in ANZ.
Yeah, that's awesome. Feel the fear and do it anyway. I love that one. Yeah, no, I think there's some really, really key messages in there, like especially, you know, big ups to you for being the first to pioneer the way in your whānau. I think that's really courageous, and obviously, you know, you've done the right thing. So, yeah, congratulations already. Yeah, imagine what the future holds, you know.
Imagine.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. So I guess in that, you know, I hear some massive barriers that you've all had to overcome and face. Maybe we can do a bit of a deep dive into some of the challenges, you know, that we've all gone through along the way. Who wants to kick us off?
Yeah, I can go. I think some of the biggest challenges for me coming into tech, I guess it's not exclusively just around technology, but there was a massive kind of lack of cultural awareness, especially as a Pacific designer. And I feel like it is quite common, like not just in technology, but along the like corporate world. And I think that comes down to also just a lack of representation. Like people don't know what they don't know. And so we need more people like ourselves filling these spaces so that people can grow in kind of that cultural competency. And I think that would kind of lead to more of our Pacific and Māori people feeling more comfortable coming to these spaces. And then the other thing was also just a lack of knowledge around what roles there are in technology. Like myself, I didn't even know that design can come into technology, but as experienced designers, it plays a massive part into like creating products, services, and systems. So, like just the breadth of roles that there are within tech, I think that needs to be kind of expanded on, especially within kind of our Māori and Pacific communities.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And you're really touching on something important to me as well around how to find ourselves as Māori or as Pacific in the industry and work to our strengths, you know, from what the tech industry actually wants from us.
Yeah.
And a lot of that comes down to how our community base, you know, and how we actually connect and take care of each other. So, yeah, that's awesome to hear. Yeah. Anyone else on?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think Shalom did a really good job with covering that challenge, and I agree with it. I think you're talking to the tech and the cybersecurity space as well. Like, from personal experience, I didn't know that cybersecurity had so many different areas, and me considering myself to be a generalist coming out of uni, just like I think a lot of people would, you don't think that there's sort of like what you studied, you could actually translate those skills into a tech role as well. So if you did an arts degree or something like that, right, you might not think that the tech area is a space that you can enter, but you know, you never know. I think like look online, see what different roles are going, what they're about, the different areas, and could definitely, you know, come in for sure. Yeah. So
I'm going to pick your brain. What are one of those exciting parts of cybersecurity for you? What's your favourite?
Oh, well, actually, I'd say the area that I'm in right now is something that I've grown quite interested in, and that's called identity and access management, probably just because I've become familiar with it as well. But prior to like coming to ANZ, I was quite a generalist within cybersecurity, so I found that quite challenging, I guess, to find what I was good at and what I enjoyed. So I think like being in the workplace, it's always a process of like trialing stuff and testing whether you actually like it, figuring yourself out and your interests. So yeah,
Yeah, awesome.
it's cool.
Yeah, cool. Anyone else want to highlight some of the challenges, or maybe not? I think what's really cool to hear from your story, Summer, is that you've got lots of opportunities within a large organisation to test out what you like, and I think often that can be one of the biggest barriers for people is not knowing where to start. So, you know, it's awesome to see that you've all got that support to grow your careers. Let's flip it around. How about some of the opportunities? Yeah. Or some of the highlights, I guess, along your way.
I can start off. So personally for me, highlight was, I guess, finding my people, finding our Māori and Pacific rōpū in tech, and these people that really empower us all. Like, especially for me, kind of never feeling like I was Māori enough, and, you know, being able to see that like I am. And so for me, being part of that rōpū and surrounded by these people that have great knowledge of te ao Māori has been so empowering in my journey as well, and my whānau's journey to, you know, reconnect with our whakapapa and start learning the reo and get into that. And and then one of the big highlights too is seeing ANZ committed to te ao Māori and having the te ao Māori strategy and trying to do more for Māori, and trying to build some cultural confidence, you know, so that we can, that people can understand us and they can, you know, fight for equity for Māori. So I think that's definitely been a big highlight, just the change that's been happening, and I think it's everywhere.
Kia ora. Yeah, it's definitely a movement happening, right? And the waves are starting to pick up and get a little bit stronger and stronger. So, yeah, that's awesome to hear that you feel like you're part of that movement, you know, with your role. Yeah. Any other awesome work stories?
I guess I'll jump in on that. I think I touched on it a little bit, but tech is it's evolving so quickly and there's so many opportunities. to be able to be on the other side where we're actually designing and embedding like Indigenous knowledge, and from our side we're Cook Island, Niuean, which are some of the smaller islands and not so well known on the scale of like Pacific in the world. So be able to embed what we know and like what our grandparents taught us and our parents taught us within technology is really important. And I think technology can be really scary if you don't understand it. And there's a whole lot of things around IP and talking about ChatGPT and AI. You know, there's a whole lot of things that we'll miss out on and we won't be able to embed into future generations if we're not designing and understanding how the process works and coding them up, and you know, like looking at what security looks like, because it even comes down to facial recognition and the way people read our data. So to be able to sit on those tables and bring that voice, I think is really such a highlight and a privilege to be able to stand on behalf of our people and make sure that we're represented in these spaces. But yeah, I think there's also, going back to what Riley said, having community, and there's some really great Pacifica and Māori women who have created opportunity for me and opened doors so that we can continue to like step on the shoulders of giants. And Megan Tapsell and Sachi, who used to be part of ANZ, were the ones who brought me onto Women in AI APAC, and just to see the breadth of knowledge in there is really cool. So yeah, there's really awesome like wahine doing mean stuff in the space, and I think that's a massive highlight because they're just like forging a pathway forward. So yeah, I'd say it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I love that. And it's really good to hear that our voice is being represented at that table, because as you've mentioned, you know, the technologies are so far wide reaching and will influence our communities whether we like it or not, right? So yeah, good to hear you're part of that kōrero. Right, we're going to change tack a little bit. I'm going to put it out there. What made ANZ Technology a place where you have felt comfortable to work?
I think I can speak on behalf of all of us on this. On the Māori and Pacific rōpū in technology has really kind of created a real comfortable place for us to be ourselves. We are a small group in a large organisation, but the initiatives and the work that we do to not only advance ourselves in our own careers, but also advance our communities as well. I think the work that we do there kind of just adds more value to our everyday jobs. It kind of gives it more, you feel a stronger sense of belonging within such a massive organisation. And it's just nice to be kind of surrounded by people that you actually feel like, kind of like a sense of whānau as well within work, which is kind of nice because you don't really go to work usually looking for that. So I think that's definitely kind of made it a lot more comfortable working at ANZ Tech.
Yeah, awesome.
And yeah, building on that and what Winona said as well, we've had some amazing wahine toa role models that, you know, have just been leading this movement, Sachi and Megan, that have created this space for us where we can be ourselves and bring our whole selves to work and go into those hui and laugh and and have fun and
cry.
Sometimes.
Not right here though. No, I'm kidding.
And do some mahi that really means a lot to us, and do some mahi that actually has an impact for our community. Yeah, I just, having those two very strong wahine toa leading the way for us has been amazing, and they really have created such a beautiful space for us to be ourselves and just be us.
Yeah, I love that.
Oh, and our line managers and like our big boss got behind the kaupapa and made sure that we could come and spend the time here and talk and understand. So to have people backing us and like even making time to watch us, I think is really encouraging, although we obviously don't like being in front of the camera. But yeah, shout out to our workplace who send us here and back us and allow us to be our whole selves. Yeah.
Yeah, kia ora.
Yeah. These guys covered it really well. I agree with all of it. Yeah, like it's awesome to have the backing, like you said, from line managers and teams, and it's just awesome that ANZ really supports that cultural diversity and all, creating different events to really highlight, you know, the different cultures and make them feel valued. So yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. I'm hearing a really strong sense of belonging, which, you know, is such a key, I guess, foundation that underpins success in anything, you know, whatever industry and whoever you are. So, yeah, it sounds great. And also, I guess, another kind of context that comes to mind as you're talking is, while we admire those who have come before us, what we're doing now is also creating a future for those that are following in our footsteps. So I want to acknowledge that all four of you are part of that wave. You know, all four of you are going to be giants whose shoulders are going to be stood on in the future, because, as you know, we haven't got many of our people in this space yet, but this is a really, really good opportunity. The session this morning is a great opportunity to talk about what it means for us as Māori and Pacific, you know, coming into this space in Aotearoa. So keep that in mind, the legacy that you're creating, and not the one that you're following, but also the one, you know, that you're leaving behind. So, yeah, really inspirational. And I look forward to seeing how your journeys evolve and how you make the AI maybe more beautiful or younger, probably by then. So, yeah, I can be your test rabbit if you need me to be. So that sums up our session number 3 for today. As you've heard, a really important whakaaro and kaupapa that we've discussed about the future of tech, and I guess the diversity of tech and why it's important to bring our Māori and Pacific people into this space. Kia ora.